So my grandpa and my dad,
Uh huh.
they're like, they're obviously bald, right? But somehow my dad still manages to keep his hair. When they wake up, it's like this. Just the front portion is just like that.
It all just bunches up in
It's
the
all
front.
bunched up. My grandpa's all bald, but he has still like a little super thin hair,
Yeah.
and it's still right there.
It's always weird when like I cut people who come in here and they just have like they're going bald, but they have a patch right there. So I'm like, let's say I'm giving them like a taper and they want to clip on top. I'm just cutting over it and just like going through the bald spots. I'm like, it's wasted movement. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite like customers that come in and they try to give themselves self cuts. I had this one cat come in not too long ago. He was younger. Said he usually cuts his hair, but he was running out of time. Because when you cut your hair, it's harder to see all the angles and it takes a little bit longer per
Yeah.
usual, you know?
Yeah.
So I was asking him, I was like, how long does it take you? He goes, oh, probably like a good 2 hours. I was like, golly.
Damn.
I've been there, but anyways, he came in one day and he had a hat on. And then when they come in with the hat and they kind of don't make eye contact, I already know what it is. So he comes in. He's all, I have like a wedding to go to. Can you fix this? And it was just like,
Patches.
nah, dude. It was like he faded himself like right here. And then the other side was just like full. And then the back, it was like faded like halfway, midway.
You should. You should have told him. Nah, you look good. You're good. You can start a new trend.
Bro, it was funny because like actually I think it was that same day, it was a Saturday, some other cat came in maybe like 10 minutes before it was closing time.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I have a wedding. I went to 2 barbers and they both messed up. So he had a beanie on too. So he comes in and I was like, oh, what were they trying to do? He's like, I don't know. I had long hair and the lady just kept going higher and higher. So I told her to stop and I got out. So he takes off his beanie, dude, and same thing. Like it was literally like a 1 from like here. And then it was like an undercut and the bottom was like, I don't know what they did, but I was able to save it and he's like, oh, thanks, man, thanks. It's like, got you, dog, no worries.
Did you tell him that's like a $50 tip right there?
I said, hey, man, I saved your life, sir. At least giving me an honorable mention in the paper.
It's not on the paper, it's the IG.
IG. Are you addicted to IG?
Nah.
No?
Not really. Back then I was. I post things up and then it's just like
Well, you don't gotta post things to be addicted.
nah, but like sometimes I do look, but it's just like it's the same thing. I already saw everything what I saw, so it's just like I don't know, dude.
It means you're not following enough people, sir.
Dude, I started following dog things. It's like fuck, like you see dog leashes, like all these dog things, all these harnesses, and it's like the one that's like all leather and went on it.
Whoa,
like,
whoa! What sites are you?
It's for dogs, and it's not the
What dog sites are you looking at?
Dominatrix. It's not the dominatrix, the dominatrix or whatever.
No judgment here, right? You like it, I love it. No, I'm saying.
But I started following that, and I'm mostly like car. You know how like we have a goal. For me, it's like to go fix a Blazer that my brother and my dad gave me, a '71 Blazer, and it's right there in the garage in Palmdale, and just sitting there. But yeah, I follow this page like how to restore things, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't have the money, so I'm just gonna let it sit there until I won the lotto.
That's what I don't like about Instagram is like if you have side projects like that going on, then you start seeing that in your algorithm, and it's like just a constant reminder that you don't have that or the means to do it. Because my dad and I were during like COVID, obviously we couldn't do anything, so we have my great grandfather's truck still with us. It's a '52 Chevy, and our plans were to restore it.
Yeah.
So we kind of like father-son project. And we were working on it for a few Saturdays. And at the end, like we're kind of stripping it down and like it turned over, which it hadn't done in like 30 years. It's crazy. Like in my entire existence, it's always been in the garage, like just sitting there. but we couldn't really like come to terms on how we wanted to restore it because he wanted to keep it like original, and I wanted to resto mod it because I want to stop when it's time to stop, you know, and the engine not to blow up going over 45 miles an hour, so it'd be nice.
Yeah.
But he just wanted to like custom stock, so.
The thing about it is like for a car project, it's too much money.
Yeah.
It's like nowadays it's like you have to either know somebody that has a shop or you know somebody that knows how to work on the car parts. So it's just like forget it.
I think these days, besides like monetary value,
Yeah.
I think most people like barter for things. Like, hey, fix my car, and I'll give you haircuts, for example. I mean, not like big things like that, but
Yeah.
if you know somebody, you're cool with somebody, be like, hey, come on.
You know the funny thing is after high school is like my parents tell me like, oh, you're gonna go to school. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go to school. I went to Cerritos College,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, dude, I want to work on cars. I don't want to be in an office or sitting at a desk or any of this crap.
Uh-huh.
So one day I told my parents, I was like, you know what, like Real Honda offers the mechanic shop,
Right.
and they're like, okay, but what do you want to do? I was like, I want to work on cars. I want to what is it when there's a collision center? Like I want to work on like swap out things like that, right? And they're like, no, that's not gonna bring you money. That's not gonna do anything for you, blah blah blah. And I'm like, and what happens? I listen. I listen, and
You listen when you shouldn't have.
I should have just done it. And what did I do? I ended up listening to my mom. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to school. She's like, go be some technician at a doctor place. So you could just all you do is you get paid good taking X-rays. I don't like sitting in the same spot or being in the same spot. It's boring.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, that's easy money. And I was like, yeah, but
Is it really though? I mean, you're sitting there looking at the clock for 8 to 10 hours a day.
she's like, well, it's like you don't have to do anything. You just take pictures. You just like take X-ray pictures of like things like people with broken bones or whatever, right? I was like, yeah, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to see fucking people's broken bones or some broken ass thing from people.
So let me ask you this: when you were growing up, what did you want to be, or what did you aspire to be, besides a Power Ranger?
Besides a Power Ranger?
Was that just me?
Nah, I thought I was gonna be Batman, but
Batman?
fuck yeah. See, Batman had all the money. He could buy whatever he wanted.
Batman was an imposter, dog. He had no powers.
He had money.
Money's
power.
All right. Cash rules everything around me. So what did you want to be when you?
I wanted to be a cop. So I was going to school. When I left Cerritos, I went to Rio Hondo. I went to Rio Hondo. I took some classes from Rio Hondo. Some what do you call it? Not the academy, but some police program, some classes. That I forgot the damn name for it. See what happens when you don't go to school? Well, I was going and I had Richard Madrid in my class.
Okay.
And he was like, oh yeah, dude, being a cop, like it has its good days and its bad days. From what I understand, that when I was there, he was in LAPD, but he was trying to go for CHP. From what he had told me, something had happened in when he was in the LAPD, so he left because he didn't want to start issues. I didn't really care. If you have your issues, that's your problem, not mine.
Okay.
I don't want to be in it.
Don't put me in the loop of your stuff, or what?
Yeah, so he was like, yeah, like, he's like, oh, like, there's a code, like if you're an off-duty cop and there's a patrol, like, passing by, they're on duty. Obviously, if you see them in their car, there's a code for that. And I was like, oh, what is it? He's like, it's this. He did some some
Hand signal?
some hand signal to one of the cops that were passing by in Pasadena. And I'm like, dude, like they're just looking at you. He's like, no, they know what that means. I was like, oh, all right.
He's over here throwing gang signs.
Yeah, so I was just like, all right, dude, whatever. So then I looked into more, and then I continued it, and my parents were like, are you sure you want to do that? I was like, yeah. And when I was going to it, I kind of stopped, because that's when like the whole like I stopped going to school. I was working at U-Haul. I was working at Glendale Community College.
You're working at U-Haul and going to Glendale. Go ahead and speak up a little bit.
I was working at U-Haul and I was working at Glendale Community College.
Okay.
I was a custodian, so I was working 2 jobs. So I would have to wake up at like 3 in the morning just to go start at Glendale Community College. I would get out at 12, but they're like, how come you can't get out at 2? And I was like, well, because I have another job. So I was working 2 jobs, and dude, I didn't really have a life. And I didn't really like working at U-Haul at the college, because it's like, my dad's like, hey, you have work, you can't be out late. And I'm like, dude, like, okay, and I was out with my wife. We were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and we were out. And I'll get text messages from my parents, dude. And keep in mind, I'm 20, 21, 22. And I'm like, hey, it's late. You should be home. You have work tomorrow. I'm like, dude, like, relax. Like, you're not the one that has to wake up early. I do. Like, if I don't work, I don't work. You're not the one losing money. I am.
Whoa.
But, you know, you can't tell that to your parents. You're going to get your ass whipped.
Or kicked out.
Like, nah, they won't kick me out. They're just like, all right, then. We'll see how it happens, how it goes.
Jeez.
So it was mostly an ass whooping at home, even though I'm still 22, 23 years old. So I still had the Camaro. I didn't have a front license plate, and I got parking tickets, 2 parking tickets. And keep in mind, they have their own. Isaac Glendale, they have their own police, the Glendale Police Department, right? Well, their police department is on the campus, on the college, so they have their cadets on there. So they have their cadets giving out tickets, and so I remember it's like this tall white dude, and I tell him like, dude, I work here. He's like, oh, that's good. I'm like, yeah, I work here. I'm an employee here. Oh, okay. Like, why are you giving me a ticket? He's like, oh, because you don't have a front license plate. I was like, dude, it's California. There's people that don't have front license plates. Are you gonna pull all of them over? He's like, well, right now I see you're still parked in the same spot. So I'm gonna just keep giving it to you until you get a front license plate. And I'm like, whatever.
Dang, bro.
I was like, all right, whatever.
What did you do to this guy?
Nothing. That's the thing. I was like, dude, like, you're not a cop. Like,
You think he was tripping off the power that he had, Glendale?
pretty much. But he's a cadet, so, you know, like, his power goes right to their head right away, right? So I was like, all right, whatever. So I'm going to go to my supervisor. I went to the supervisor. I told him, like, hey, man, like, you know what? Can you talk to, like, the whoever's in charge of the cadets? Like, can you tell him, like, let him know, like, I work here. I'm an employee. And you know what he tells me?
What'd he say?
Hey, man, you know, like, I can't really do anything. I like, what do you mean? You're like one of the main supervisors here in the college. Yeah, but you know, like we work our things our way. And you know what the funny thing is? My dad had told me, he's like, I know who the guy is. I'm cool with him. And I had called my dad, and so I'm like, can you talk to him? He's like, well, I'm not working there right now, so I can't really say anything. I'm like, all right, then whatever. So I only got like 2 parking tickets, two citations for not having front license plate.
Where was your front license plate then?
On the window.
So it was there, it just wasn't displayed in the correct spot?
So how they say it's not permanently attached to the car.
That's so stupid.
But it's just like, dude, it's like, well, it's permanently inside the car, so how is it permanently not attached to the car? But whatever.
That's not what we need to do. We need to be able to post up our back license plates outside the window.
Yeah,
Instead of outside in the back. Because the other day they stole my tags.
Yeah, see? So
I was like, that's all right. They're due and ready up like in the next year, so.
they were desperate for those tags.
I guess.
So then, whatever. I was already getting annoyed at that job. I was already fighting with the guy that they had partnered me up with, some old dude. And the last day, it was my last day working there, and one of the cops, pulled me over, and I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I've been watching where you park. I know who you are." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So what's the reason for you to pull me over?"
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "'Cause you don't have your front license plate." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I had ordered it, but they never came in, so I'm still waiting on them." He's like, "Yeah, man, if I ever catch you again, I'm gonna pull you over." Dang. But me, I was like young, being a little smart ass. I was like, "Okay, well, good luck, 'cause this is my last day." Yeah, and so he's like, "Look, I could give you a ticket right now." I was like, "Look, man, I gotta go to work. I have another job. Either give me the ticket or let me go.
Damn, bro.
Make up your mind." But see, I was younger and dumber, and I was more of a smart ass.
You had no love for the people upholding our justice system, bro.
Fuck. So, okay, I don't want to say fuck them because I know some of them.
You switched up real quick. I'm just saying.
No, because you know what? It's those ones like that ruin it for the good ones, you know?
The people who take it way too seriously, and it's like, hey, dog, you're a campus aide. Relax, bro.
Like, come on, dude. Like, you won't do the same thing. And it's just like, it's just like, dude, like, why you have to ruin it for those other ones? Now, past all that, after I left that, I was working at U-Haul. We were always friends with like cops at U-Haul, same thing. And now it came to up to this point. I still didn't go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to electrical trade, and when the whole George Floyd happened, my parents were like, "Good thing like you didn't become a cop, because look at what's going on now." And so did my wife, and I was like, I guess. They're like, and my wife's like, you probably would have been like an asshole. And I was like, an asshole cop, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I would, but who knows? Because I never.
We'll never know.
We'll never know because I never finished school. So they're just like,
I applied when I was like 21 for the sheriff's, and I passed the written exam, and I just completely like folded in the interview process. Like I just, crapped the bed, dude. It was bad. They were asking me like simple questions. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But it did not work out for me. I just remember I was all like, I didn't really want to do it anyways. I just like, I put in an application. I was like, all right, if I get accepted, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the end of my law enforcement career.
I applied for Orange County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, did you really?
And I showed up in jean shorts, like cargo shorts, Vans, and just a t-shirt. But this is how bad I didn't pay attention to the paperwork. It says come dressed in
like a professionally, right?
PT clothing. Like basically like workout clothes.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay attention to that because when I got there, almost everybody was in workout clothes, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And keep in mind that they're like, if you pass your rating test, you're gonna have to do a physical test, and I'm like, oh shit. I was like, don't tell me I'm gonna have to run a mile and something.
You've never ran a mile in Vans, bro? Are you really from Pico?
Dude, I did run a mile in Vans. Remember those Vans? They were like, they didn't have like they were like super thin Vans, and they're not really meant for like going out. But
what do you mean?
They look like those Hey Dude shoes.
Hey Dude shoes?
Yeah.
What's that?
Hey Dudes. These are Hey Dudes. They're like slippers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you.
Well, I was mostly running those back in the days, but yeah, I showed up to take the test, and luckily I like, in a way, thank God I didn't pass the written test because I was like, I was not ready for that physical test. And cargo pants and Vans,
Yeah.
I missed it by 2 points. I was like, all right, but
I remember growing up, I watched the movie Men in Black, and after that chase down scene of the alien, the very beginning, I was like, I wanted to be NYPD, and that lasted probably till like middle school. I was like, I don't want to catch aliens no more.
how you seen that? Let me guess, you're telling everybody in school that I'm gonna be at NYPD. Like that one little kid, he's like, you're talking to a future. What does he say? Marine or Army?
Oh yeah, I seen that one. Yeah.
That was you, huh?
Heck no, dude. Once we got to like high school and I seen the ROTC people, like they were cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like throwing shade, but some of them, if you're talking about like taking too much power out of context, like that was some of the people, at least in my experience. And when it was like them amongst themselves, they were even harder on themselves, bro. It was like, bro.
I remember there was one kid. There was this one kid. He's like, he was cool with everybody. Everybody like would joke around, but he joined He was in ROTC, and he's like, yeah, man, we do this on ROTC. We even do this, and I told him like, dude, relax. You're in ROTC. You're not in the real thing.
That's so rude.
And he's like, no, we take it serious. Like, dude. I was like, I can't take you seriously. You know why? Because my brother was in the Marine Corps, and I heard their asses get yelled at when I seen my brother get graduation. So in front of us, like, so say like right now, the way we're facing to the wall, I could see like my brother parading. Right. We're sitting on the bleachers. We see him parading. Behind us are their like where they sleep, their barracks.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, we could hear the drill instructors yelling at all of them. And it's like, keep in mind, I was in middle school, and my parents were like, if you don't listen to us, we're gonna send you here. And I'm like, no, thank you.
All scared, huh?
So, but I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I did want to join the military, but I couldn't because I have asthma, apparently. I was like, great. Navy.
So I always tell people my story of my military career. Me and my boy went to go sign up for the Marines. We went to the recruitment office, and I didn't even make it inside the door. The dude was standing at the door, and he was like, he saw my hand tattoo. He's like, go try the Army. I was like, nah, I'm good. And that was the end of my career. But honestly, I didn't want to go to college. That's why I was going to join the military. And ended up going back to Rio and going off and on there for almost 10 years.
I don't know, like I did even take one of the tests, and they're MEPS.
Maps, I think.
No,
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
Well, I went, and I seen everybody that showed up. The recruiter showed up with them, and I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck is mine? And this was for Army. This is not for Marine. This was for Army. And I was like, dude, this guy didn't even show up. He was texting me. He's like, okay, I put your name on the list, and I had to do everything myself.
about. Really?
Yeah, I did everything myself, and I'm like, I showed up, did it, and I was like, what the fuck? I showed up the first day. They're like, yeah, your recruiter never put your name on it. I was like,
No.
oh my god. I was like, I called him. I was like, hey, you never put my name on the list. And he's like, oh, I forgot. Like, what kind of fucking recruiter are you, dude? Like, really? Like, fuck, man. Like,
You could have had the next Navy SEAL. You missed out.
and then
You could have been the next Major Payne.
oh, okay. So when I went, they're like, oh, how much do you weigh? And I was like, oh, I weigh like two. At the time, when I say right now, at the time, I think I was like 200, 210, around there.
Okay. So you were slimmer.
So I was slimmer. And the recruit that I was talking to from the Navy, he was a big dude. No, I'm not saying big as in like muscles, but like he was chunky.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, you have to lose a little bit more weight, and I remember I was like, but like, dude, like, how much do you weigh?
Yeah, it's like the cops though. Is once you're in, you're in.
Yeah. And again, I don't mean to talk shit, but it's just like,
Listen, dog, I'm gonna need you to be an umpire and call people out right now.
I don't know. Sometimes it's like I see some cops that are big,
Yeah.
and it's just like, fuck. If I punch you, should I just run or speed walk? I do know one guy. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he listens to you. Because he is in the LA Sheriff's Department. He did graduate my year,
Uh-oh.
and he's big, dude. I remember in high school he was like not skinny, but he was not like
Thinner.
he wasn't. He was thick.
Okay.
Put it that way. And you know him too.
Hey, don't be throwing my name in the ring, dog.
I didn't-
Right?
Well, when I heard when I seen him that he joined the LA County, the Sheriff's County, wherever the fuck they are,
Yeah.
he was skinny. But then like I seen again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier about Instagram, that me being a nosy ass and like looking at everybody's shit, right?
Uh-huh.
He got big, he blew up, and I'm like, dude, you're a cop. You're a deputy. How how's it that you got big? But see, it goes back to like maybe just who cares, right? He's enjoying his life.
Yeah.
He's making that deputy money, and I'm over here suffering. And
Well, man, it's also life too. Nobody, unless you have to be actively taking care of yourself to stay healthy. Like nobody has this high school body forever, really.
there's some guys that we both know. They still keep their high school bodies. Or I'm gonna say like one specific family that we both know that hype up their name. They hype up their name.
Shots coming. They're starting to ring out.
It's okay. Please. I don't really care. What are they gonna say about me?
I don't know, bro.
I would like to know what they. I'm not gonna say the name, but
Hey, this is getting a little personal. What was the original intent of bringing this up?
yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. It's just okay.
Just to stir the pot.
It's funny how, you know how those movies that like there's always like a family that like, yeah, but my son does this, or because our last name is so and so, is like they're still living in that like high school not is it high school fantasy or like high school fame.
Okay.
Well, there's that family that still exists, and they bring in that same number, and it's just like, dude, like, okay, I guess there's a meaning to the number, but it's just like, grow up.
Hey, man.
You don't see me saying like, oh yeah, my last name's Santana's, blah blah blah. Like, it's all that. Like, I really don't care. I just know my name's, how you say it? Unique. Yeah, right.
There's a city named after you, dog.
Nah, it's Santa Ana.
Nah, dog. Santana.
I should cease and desist the name
Just sue the city.
to the city.
Stop using immediately.
Change the name of your city.
It's life, man. Things happen. Priorities change. It's sad though because, you know, what tends to go first is like your physical health, especially if you're like, you know, in school or working 2 jobs or you have a family. It's just, you know, other things come up and you need to.
What like really not bugged me, but like, okay, we were walking our dog at Smith Park. We were going to the farmers market. We were walking our dog through farmers market, right? And as soon as we were like, we saw everything, we walked out. At one of the entrances, it says no dogs allowed, right? And I'm like, oh, we just walked through there with our dog, and nobody said anything to us. So it's just like, dude, it's like, whatever. I don't really care. You tell me like no dogs allowed, like that's fine. But we see like these kids playing baseball, and it's like we see like these dads, these moms like living through their. They put them in baseball, football, and you see them like live through their like
Yeah,
like
be living vicariously through the kids.
Yeah.
What could have been for them.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, like, fuck that. I don't want to do that shit for my kids. It's like I rather go play what sport you enjoy. My time already with that, like, sorry, my time with football, it's already done.
Yeah.
My time playing soccer was already done. My time playing baseball, it's already done.
Yeah.
But that's my past. And my wife goes like, what if they want to do cheerleading? I'm like, fuck it. If he does cheerleading, go for it. I don't care. Like, if that's what he enjoys, that's what he enjoys. It ends up being a professional career at the end. So it's like, and then she goes like, but what if he loves it? I was like, okay, if he's a cheerleader and he hangs out with a bunch of girls. And she's like, okay, but what if he's like, he likes men? Like, I don't care. At the end of the day, like, I don't care. That's not,
it's his life.
It's his life, not my life. So it's just like, but like I still like see all these parents, like all these people, like that's not right. You shouldn't be doing this. It's like, dude, like I seen the whole like on the news, like I shouldn't be going into that, but it's just like, dude, it's like
don't be starting fires you can't put out, my guy.
Dude, it's like there's just arguments with everything. It's just like, dude, like just let your kid live his life. Let your kid enjoy the sport. Don't expect them to like.
My thought on it is let it be fun for the kid. You know, like you said, when I coached at the park, I only coached for a year, and I was like, even when I was wilding out, I was like, this is too crazy. Like, the parents are way too living through their kids. I had this one dad come up to me. You know, I was like a DN coach. I had like no say. I was just like training a specific position.
Yeah.
And the guy comes up to me after practice. He's like, hey, because this kid was a DN and a running back. And he was like, hey, would you mind giving my son some more playing time? I was like, dude, I have no control over.
I can't.
He's like, yeah, but you're the voice in the wind, though, to tell the other coaches. Was like, bro, come on, man. What do you want me to do?
The way it's like, dude, like when we both played football in high school. Yeah. You saw those like the coaches that coach us like tell us like, if you don't play, it just means like you kind of suck in a certain way, or like you're not putting the full effort that you're supposed to be putting. Now, if you see the other guys playing on the field, it's because we see something in them. And there was a coach that said like, yeah, we do see something in you guys, but if you're just on the sidelines, like, and you don't want to play, it's like then you're in the wrong sport. But it's just like, dude, like.
But that's a real thing too, right? I mean, because there were, kids who just went to practice just to practice, and they had like no intention of really putting in that effort.
Yeah, and then there were some guys I didn't know like that, but it's like, dude, don't you want to play? He's like, not really. I just like watching it, and I don't have to be like in the stands or whatever.
Well, it was also like a class too.
Yeah.
So you just get paid to watch.
Pretty much.
And to run. I mean, not get paid. You get a grade.
But either way, it's like, dude, it's like, I went to my godson's game, and this was like little flag football. I seen his side. He played for Montebello, and they were playing Pico. And when I seen the Pico side, I'm like, dude, like, they're more strict on the Dons. They're more like, they have more rules now in football. No blowhorns, or it's a you got to pay the fine or whatever the fuck it's called.
They make you pay fines now?
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you have a blowhorn and you use it, like, you get in trouble. You got to pay the fine. And it's just like, dude, like, where's the fun now? Where's the blow? Like, you can't say certain things. It's just like, dude, like. Right?
You know what? I kind of agree on that part though, because there are, like you said, there are some wild parents who talk smack to like an 8-year-old kid, bro, and it's like, dude, this guy's just started like 2 years ago, and you want him to throw a perfect game already. It's like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Like, I get both sides of it. All that stuff.
I understand. Like, yeah, you want the best. Again, Not talking crap about the parents that want to live through their kids' life. Because I don't have kids, but it's like, dude, like, let the kid enjoy his life. It's like at least your kid is able to be in a sport. There are kids that are not able to be in a sport. Why? Because there are some families that don't have the money to be in a sport.
Yeah.
Now, there's some kids that can't play. Why? Because they have to go work with their dads on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
There's all kinds of factors. I get what you're saying.
but it's just, yeah, and it's just like,
It is annoying though, for sure.
not like the way how you're saying, like the parent going, hey, let my kid play. It's like, come on, dude, like, grow up. There's a reason why like your kid's not playing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think what the principle behind that though, what bothered me so much is like, you're teaching that to your kid is like, you're not going to put in the effort and you're going to go complain to somebody else to get your. That was like what got me annoyed back then. You know, it was like, and the kid it was pretty good though. It was the thing is like sometimes he didn't show up. Like he was either 100% or he wasn't, and when he wasn't, he was bad. You know.
you see that, and then that's the thing. Like there are kids that like that they do show up to practice, and dude, they see other kids, they just want to play.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you have the parents, come on, pay attention, like dude.
Oh, dude, that always made me cringe when
I'm
we
like-
had like the super dad and he's like yelling at his kid from. It's like, bro, relax.
And my
He's
wi-
already a stud. He's 9 years old. You don't need to be making him go in with a concussion. Like, he's not gonna get a scholarship right now.
Literally, they have their whole entire life to figure out what they want to do, if they even want to be in the sport.
Yeah.
Like my wife tells me, she's like, why don't you become a coach for football? I was like, no, hell no. She's like, why not? I was like, because I already know myself. I already know myself with kids. If they don't listen, you already know how I am. Like, I was like, I'm gonna like either like hold it in, lash out at one of them, and just
That
like,
bad, bro?
dude, I used to work with kids, and I said the word stupid, and one of them reported me to the parents, and the parents reported me to the office.
No.
Like, you can't say stupid, and I'm like, I
I
can't.
called him stupid. Alright?
I told him like it came out accidentally. I didn't mean it. And the way how I said it was like, you can't say that word. And what do the kids end up saying? What word? What word? You know what word you shouldn't be saying. What word, mister? And then I was like, that word. You can't say the word stupid. Oh, you said stupid? I'm like, I was like, look, don't say that word again. It's not really a nice word to say to other kids. And what happens? The next day, principal comes, I need to talk to you. Really? What happened now? Well, a student of ours told their parents that, like, you said the word stupid. I was like, no. I was informing them not to say the word. But they kept on saying, what word, what word? And I explained to them. She's like, okay, well, just don't let it happen again. I'm like, dude, you're telling me, but yet these kids are saying it. It's like, what do you want me to say? Like, not, just stand there and just nod my head?
Yeah, it's so hard working with kids, man.
So then there was one time there was a kid, middle of the field, choking a girl. And this was, elementary, not even middle school. Elementary. The kid was choking the girl, and I was yelling at him. I was yelling out his name. And I ran. I didn't pull the kid off the kid, and I didn't pull the kid off the girl. I like, hey, what are you doing? He got off of her. I was like, come on, let's go. He's like, no, I'm not going with you. So what I do? Grab them by the arm, like any parent would do. What happens? There's a car passing by. Let him go. Let him go. And I'm like, I told the girl, come with me so we could see if you're okay. And what happens? I end up getting reported because why? Because I was holding the kid the wrong way. So I was like, okay, the kid was not going to come with me. What were you guys going to do?
Just let him keep
So let him go
beating
to his
it.
class and let him continue it? And they're like, no, but we would have had our ways. And I'm like, whatever, dude.
Sheesh.
And I'm like, dude, like, I was like that, and I told my wife about that. I was like, I can't work with other kids if the kids are not willing to like listen.
That's the whole thing, man, is
But,
building a relationship with those kids because, you know, you could tell them all you want, but if they don't know who you are, even like you, they're not gonna do anything.
Exactly.
Especially if you have like you work in a school with a bunch of different kids, especially if they're not in your class, and be like, what authority does this guy have after me?
Yeah.
To me, but well, man, thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
Appreciate the talk.
Appreciate it.